Hello students, welcome to our channel and in this lecture we are going to discuss about two topics. One is autotrophic nutrition and another is photosynthesis. Okay, these are the two topics that we are going to discuss in this lecture, and now let us start about our discussion. The first is living organisms. What is meant by living organism? So any organism that has a life, okay, which is capable of respiration, reproduction, excretion and so on. If the organism is performing such kind of functions, that is known as living organisms. So whatever the living organisms are there, so they are going to perform all these activities. So and there is a need of the food for the growth and metabolism. So what is meant by growth? Increasing in the size. Let us consider this is the cell, and if the cell is going to increase its size, it is also considered as a growth. Or if the cell is going to increasing in the number of the cells, okay, previously there is one and after that there may be 100 cells, so it is also known as growth. Okay, here also growth and here also growth, so it can be defined in this way. Okay, and metabolism. What is meant by metabolism? Metabolism is of two types, anabolism and also catabolism. In this lecture we are going to discuss about both. Okay, so metabolism means what? Anabolism. Okay, anabolism and catabolism. So what is meant by anabolism and catabolism? Anabolism means build up. Okay, something is going to build, that is known as anabolism. Catabolism means something is going to get destroyed, okay, or destruction process, that is known as catabolism. For example, if you eat some any food material, the food material in your body get destroyed, or the food material will get digested. So such kind of digestion process is known as catabolism. Okay, and the plants are going to do the photosynthesis and there is a production of the carbohydrates. So there is a building up of the sugar molecule, so it is a anabolism. Okay, so anabolism means building of something and catabolism means destruction or breaking down something, and we will discuss about is metabolism in the future lessons in detail. So next, food is necessary for the maintaining of the body temperature. So for example, if you eat any food material, whether it may be sugars, okay, so the food material contains sugars. So these sugars, what they do, they enters into the cells and they are responsible for the production of energy and also production of the some amount of heat, okay, or you can call it as a body temperature. So the question is why there is a need of the body temperature? Why? Because the body temperature is necessary to perform the body function well. Okay, some enzymes, proteins, they are going to work well at the normal temperature, that is around 37 degrees Celsius in the body. Okay, so to maintain such kind of a body temperature, the food is necessary. If there is no food, there is no maintaining of the body temperature. As a result, organism will die. Okay, different organisms has a different body temperature. The human being's body temperature is different, the crocodile body temperature is different, and so on. Depending upon the species, the body temperature is different. Okay, the mode of acquiring food varies from the organism to organism. Let us take the example human beings are going to consume solid, okay, solid food materials, liquid and semi solid. Okay, these are the food materials that is consumed by the human beings. So what about mosquito? Okay, it is going to take only blood. Okay, so it is going to take the blood, and the male mosquitoes may take the sap from the plant. Okay, so they are going to consume the liquid food material, and if you take the buffalo or cow, it is going to eat the grass. It means depending upon the organism, the mode of acquiring food varies from organism to organism. So what is meant by acquiring? Acquiring means taking. Okay, so the mode means the process. So the first question that we have is, what are autotrophs? How do autotrophs get their food material? So first of all, we have to understand that what is meant by autotrophic organisms. Autotrophic organisms means the organism that is capable of synthesizing their own food material. Okay, the food material is known as autotrophic organisms. So how do they prepare their own food material? Example, if you take plants, the plants has chlorophyll. So with the help of the chlorophyll, it is going to trap the sunlight. Okay, it is going to trap the sunlight, and is going to perform the photosynthesis. During the photosynthesis, what you will see, there is a production of the carbohydrates. So these carbohydrates is a form of energy, so the plants can consume. So they are known as autotrophs. They get energy or they get food in the by performing photosynthesis. Okay, they synthesize the food material with the help of materials like raw materials like sunlight, okay, and water and minerals. Okay, example, the green plants. Not only green plants, but there are also some bacteria. Okay, the bacteria, like example, cyanobacteria. So cyanobacteria is also going to perform the photosynthesis. Okay, so next, not only cyanobacteria but also some algae and photosynthetic organisms. All photosynthetic organisms are going to perform photosynthesis. So the next question is, what are heterotrophs? How do the heterotrophs get their food material? So first of all, we have to understand the same thing, what is meant by heterotrophs. So the heterotrophs are not able to synthesize their own food material, are unable to synthesize their own food material. Example, we will take the human beings. So the human beings do not have chlorophyll. Okay, no chlorophyll. So as a result, there is no synthesis of the photosynthesis. There is no performing of the photosynthesis. Hence, we are going to depend on other organisms. Okay, other organisms like plants, okay, and animals, etc. So we are known as heterotrophic organisms. Not only we, but also the cow, buffalo, sheep, and so on. They all are the heterotrophic organisms. So we are going to depend on the autotrophs directly. Okay, directly or indirectly. What is meant by indirect? Indirect means if you eat meat, okay, egg, okay, or milk, so you are depending on the autotrophs indirectly. Why? Because the meat, egg, milk, everything is coming from the by consuming the grass, okay, or by consuming the plant material. So what is meant by direct? If you eat leafy vegetables, okay, leafy vegetables, okay, and if you eat some kind of fruits or vegetables and so on, it is nothing but direct dependence, and this is the indirect dependence. Okay, hence we can say that we are heterotrophs. We are going to depend on other organisms. Example, human beings and also other animals, okay, birds and also some reptiles and so on. Okay, so the next thing is autotrophic nutrition. So autotrophic nutrition means the organisms capable of synthesizing the chemical compounds. So we are saying that chemical compounds. What is meant by chemical compound? Chemical compounds like glucose, okay, and other proteins or vitamins, they all are the chemical compounds. These chemical compounds has some amount of energy, okay, some amount of energy. The sugars has the energy, okay. So by using the main important raw materials like sunlight, water, minerals, carbon dioxide, these all are the raw materials. These all are the raw materials is necessary for the photosynthesis. Okay, these autotrophs includes plants, microorganisms, or simply you can say photosynthetic organisms. So the photosynthetic organisms. Okay, so next they obtain the minerals and water from the soil. Soil contains some amount of minerals like magnesium, iron, okay, and also sulfur, nitrogen, so on. These all are the minerals that is present in the soil. Not only minerals but also the water. So the roots are going to absorb water and also minerals from the soil, and the plants, the leaves are going to absorb the gases from the atmosphere. Which gas? The simple, that is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is absorbed by the leaves during the photosynthesis. Okay, by this process they are going to perform the photosynthesis. So during the photosynthesis you can see the complex compounds also synthesized, like carbohydrates. So carbohydrates example, complex carbohydrates example, starch. Okay, so these are the glucose molecules. So let us consider these circles are the glucose molecules. So in these glucose molecules will get bonded together to form a starch. Okay, so this is known as starch. It is an example for the complex carbohydrate. Okay, not only that, the proteins also complex carbohydrates. Why? Because the amino acids are joined together. So hence this is also known as complex compounds. Next, lipids. They are the fatty acids. The fatty acids are going to join together to form a lipids, etc. Okay, so these are synthesized from the simple substances. Simple substances means example glucose. These are the simple substances. What they are forming? They are joining together to form a larger molecules. So they are known as complex compounds. Complex compounds always form from the simple compounds. Okay. So next, autotrophs perform photosynthesis and also provide energy for the heterotrophs. So what are heterotrophs? The organisms which are going to depend on autotrophs. Hence we can consider that these autotrophs are going to provide food material to all organisms on the earth. So by this way, we can consider that autotrophs are the universal food providers. What is meant by universal food providers? It means they are going to provide food to all organisms in the universe. Okay, so this is about it, about the photosynthesis. Next is the von Helmont. Von Helmont and other scientists believed that the plants get their food material not only from the soil but also from the other sources. So other sources means what? Other sources, previously the scientists thought that they are getting the food materials, the plants are getting food materials from the soil, not only from the soil but also from other sources like the sunlight. Okay, sunlight contains some amount of energy is trapped during the photosynthesis. Next, what you can consider, the next is the carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide is taken from the environment and it is utilized for the production of the carbohydrates like glucose. Okay, glucose contains carbon. That carbon is coming from the carbon which is present in the carbon dioxide. Okay, so these are the things that we have to understand. So next, there is another question. Can you think of some raw materials needed for the photosynthesis? Yes, the raw materials means the simple form. Okay, solar energy, that is nothing but sunlight. Sunlight is one of the raw material. Carbon dioxide is one of the raw material. Water is also one of the raw material. Okay, so these are the raw materials. The chlorophyll. Okay, wait a minute. The chlorophyll is an important pigment. With the help of the chlorophyll, these raw materials will get converted into energy or chemical compounds, that is nothing but glucose molecules. Okay, and the next question is, what could be the end product of the photosynthesis? The end product of the photosynthesis is glucose. Okay, the glucose is the end product. It is a sugar. Oxygen is also end product and water is also end product. These three are the end products in the photosynthesis. Okay, and the next is that we are going to discuss about the photosynthesis in coming lectures. So we will discuss a little bit detail in about the photosynthesis. So what is meant by photosynthesis? The process of building complex organic molecules by using chlorophyll and simple organic ones. So just now we have seen the organic ones are, what are the organic ones? Here you can see the simple ones is solar energy, carbon dioxide and also H2O. Okay, these are the simple ones in the raw materials. So what they are saying, the complex organic molecules by using chlorophyll and also simple inorganic ones. First of all, we have to understand about what is organic. Okay, later we will discuss about the complex. First of all, we have to understand about what is organic molecule. Organic molecules means any chemical compound which contains carbon is known as organic. So example, glucose, C6H12O6. Can you see carbon in the glucose? This is the chemical formula of the glucose. Can you see the carbon here? Yes, the carbon is present in the glucose molecules. So it is an organic molecule. Okay, so what is meant by inorganic? Inorganic, like let us take the example NH3, ammonia. Okay, can you see carbon in it? There is no carbon in the ammonia, hence it is known as inorganic. Okay, so this is known as organic. So these organic molecules like glucose or starch is nothing but sugar, so they contains carbon. So these organic molecules are synthesized by a process known as photosynthesis. We are saying that complex organic molecules. So organic molecule, the glucose is the organic. Okay, organic and simple, the organic and simple. So the starch is also organic plus it is the complex. Okay, hence we can say the starch is a complex organic molecule. Have you understood the word, the complex organic molecule? So this is the meaning of it. By using chlorophyll, we have discussed that the chlorophyll is a pigment. The chlorophyll is a pigment that is present in the chloroplast organelle. and simple organics are utilized for the formation of complex organic molecule. So here the water simple organic molecules in the photosynthesis, water water doesn't contains any carbon, okay. And also what you can see the minerals, what you can see the minerals like magnesium, okay. So and other components are required for the photosynthesis, and it is a complex. What they are saying, the photosynthesis is a complex and involves several reactions. Yes, the photosynthesis is a complex and it involves several reactions. So the main important scientist is C.B. Van Neel. In the year 31, he proposed that the chemical equation by observing the photosynthesis in plants. So what he said the chemical reaction. So the chemical reaction contains, he given the chemical reaction, but this is a skeletal formula. What is meant by skeletal formula? Skeletal formula means it doesn't have any balancing. So this is not a balanced equation, okay. This is not a balanced equation, and it's just a rough structure of the photosynthesis chemical reaction. So hence we can say that this is a chemical the skeletal reaction. So but after the C.B. Van Neel, so another scientist, Robert Hill, showed that oxygen is released from the water during this reaction and modified the equation. So compare the difference between this chemical reaction and this chemical reaction. What changes that you can see between these two chemical reactions? So here there is no numbering, okay. There are no numbers before the each and every chemical element, but you can see there is a number of there is a saying about how many number of chemical elements are involved. So here the 6 CO2, there is only CO2 is present, but they are saying that 6 molecules of the carbon dioxide is required. Here they say the 2 water molecules, but here they are saying that 12 water molecules are required. And the carbohydrates, how many carbohydrates, the glucose contains how many elements? Here they said only CH2O, but what they are saying, they saying that C6, it means 6 carbons, 12 hydrogens, and oxygens are 6 are required. So this is a chemical formula for the glucose, okay. So this is a chemical formula for the glucose, and here they say that just water. Here they are saying that 6 water molecules, the only one oxygen molecule. Here they are saying that 6 oxygen molecules. So this is a perfect reaction. This is a perfect chemical reaction. This is a skeleton, the skeleton reaction of the photosynthesis. Okay, this perfect chemical reaction was proposed by the Robert Hill. He showed that oxygen is releasing from the water during this reaction and modified the equation proposed by the C.B. Van Neel in the 1931. So the first C.B. Van Neel worked on a sulfur bacteria. So sulfur bacteria, it is going to utilize H2S instead of the water molecule. So here you can see the CO2 in the sulfur bacteria. What you can see, the CO2 plus it is going to utilize H2S, okay, H2S. So hence there is the production of the H2S. So he did not provide a complete chemical reaction. So what, instead of H2S, instead of water, so hence there is no releasing of the water, there is no releasing of the oxygen. So in the previous lesson, in the coming lessons, we will see how the oxygen is released. How the oxygen is released at the end of the photosynthesis, end products of the photosynthesis. How this oxygen is released? This is released by the breakdowning of the water molecule. So if the water molecule is broken down, what things that you can see? You can see H plus and OH minus ions. Okay, so these are the products. Here again, this OH molecule is utilized for the production of the oxygen. Okay, oxygen is produced from the OH molecules. So this is the thing. Here what they are saying, the C.B. Van Neel utilized the sulfur bacteria. So if there is no use of the water molecule, in the bacteria, what you can see, there is no synthesis of the oxygen. The oxygen will not be synthesized. Why? Because this bacteria is not going to utilize the water. Instead of water, what it is using? It is using the hydrogen sulfide. Okay, so this is only the reason. And next is the plants synthesize complex carbohydrates. Example, starch. Just now we have seen the oxygen molecule, not the oxygen, the glucose molecules are joined together to form a starch. And cellulose also. Cellulose is also a form of sugar. Okay, so the cellulose will be seen in the plant cell walls. So the plants are capable of synthesizing other compounds like proteins, fats, etc. These are the main important things. So animals depend on carbohydrates and synthesized by the plants. So just now you have seen at the end of the at the end of the photosynthesis or the end products of the photosynthesis, you can see the glucose molecules. Okay, these are the carbohydrates. So we, the animals like human beings and animals, are going to depend on the main important thing known as carbohydrates. Okay, so by eating the plant food material or by eating the plant material, we are going to get the carbohydrates from the plants. Okay, so this is the main important thing. So there is one question: can we state that the photosynthesis is the basic energy source for most of the living world, and why? Why not? So the photosynthesis is providing the food material. Okay, they are going to provide the food, not only food but also the oxygen, which is the basic source of the energy. So these are the main important thing of the photosynthesis. The photosynthesis is main important source of the energy for all living organisms on the earth. Okay, and I hope this lecture is helpful to you, and also if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to our channel so that you will get notifications on new lesson uploads. Okay, and you can like the video, share the video and comment, and provide your valuable suggestions or requirements in the comment section so that we will do according to that. And the next lecture is about presence of starch or carbohydrate in leaf, and factors are the materials essential for the photosynthesis, and along with it we are going to discuss about air and photosynthesis. Okay, and we will see you in the next lecture.